What's up, everybody? It is Wrestling Reality one-on-one with me, Justin LaBar, here on Trib Live Radio every single Tuesday. In case you're not aware, the Pittsburgh Tribune-Review newspaper, also a part of this grand media empire that we're all under here at Trib Live Radio, they launched a professional wrestling column this week, Monday and Friday, every single week, yours truly in the print version. You can find online, triblive.com. Yesterday's debut column, was a conversation I had with Scott Hall's son, Cody Hall, who is now wrestling. The full interview, the full uncut phone conversation, we'll play later on this show. This Friday's column is going to be a mailbag, so if you have any questions you want answered in a more written, more formal, more archived format that I might not get to on this show, you can tweet it to me. You can hashtag Trib Wrestling, or I might take some questions in email if I don't get to them on this program. So a lot of ways to stay in connection with me for all of your reality. Reality here, let's start the show. I want to talk about what WWE did last night, an effort to promote Money in the Bank. I'm going to give you the good, bad, and the oh-so-ugly reality. Here we go. WWE took some logical steps last night. They did the logical thinking of, in the most part, of what they wanted to do. They start off Raw with all the participants, or at least 6 of them, in this all-star, a.k.a. WWE Championship Money in the Bank ladder match, which is fine. It's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. You're already going to be down a couple of matches because you're putting so many guys, you're cramming so many guys into a ladder match. You got to give some kind of an emotional connection between them, so that way it's not just a big spot fest going after a briefcase. They bring the 6 of the guys out there. Of course, CM Punk's last. That makes sense. The one guy who wasn't there, of course, is Rob Van Dam, who's going to make his debut or return to the pay-per-view. Punk, unfortunately, though, this is what I don't agree with. Punk mentions RVD's name. I totally disagree with that. And then he mentions his name. Randy Orton ends up RKOing Kane, and then some guys back out of the ring, and that's how we end. Terrible, flat ending. Come on, man. You're trying to promote a pay-per-view. Here's what yours truly would have done. I would have never had Punk mention RVD's name. I would have had melee, chaos, brawl ensue amongst the 6 of them, Donnybrook, as they might say. And then in the midst of the battling and the chaos, all of a sudden RVD music and promo playing on the Titantron, and everybody stops. And because what it does, it gets connection, it gets chaos amongst those 6, it highlights RVD. He's not going to win the ladder match, but at least puts him in the right light that he should be in, and that's a good opening segment. Switching gears now over to the WWE and World Heavyweight Championship matches. John Cena versus Mark Henry. Can't say enough about how excited I am. Got an announcement coming with that a little bit later on in this show. Alberto Del Rio defending the title up against Dolph Ziggler. That's a lot of chaos. That's a lot of problems, which I'll get to in 1 second as well. All night last night, they were building to champion versus champion, Del Rio versus Cena. We've seen this before. It's not unprecedented, but it was an appropriate time to play this card. These are the titles that these Money in the Bank briefcase winners will be going after, so it makes the champions look better. And quite frankly, they had a great match. Del Rio and Cena had a really good, solid main event match. And the entire way as we build this non-title main event match, we have flashbacks of the greatest that have held the WWE title, the greatest that have held the World Heavyweight title, stemming back into the WCW. What a way to remind me how terrible of a champion Alberto Del Rio is by showing me all of these greats that once held it. What is going on with the world? Let's just vacate the title, scratch, restart, and let's have a tournament for who should be World Heavyweight Champion. We have Alberto Del Rio up against Dolph Ziggler. Now, Del Rio, who was a face with Ricardo Rodriguez, and that made no sense at all because nobody cheered Del Rio, and Ricardo was more over than Del Rio was. Now, as of today, we find out Ricardo is suspended for 30 days for violating the wellness policy. Del Rio's back to being a heel, and that's when you need a manager, and he's going up against Dolph Ziggler, who randomly became a face after being injured, or a concussion, and what was once a feud filled with outside moving parts. AJ Lee and Big E Langston all of a sudden have no affiliation with Dolph Ziggler, no explanation there. Ricardo's gone off for 30 days. We're now stuck with this Ziggler and Del Rio. It's sloppy, it's messy. Vacate the title. Tell you what, give it to the Wyatt family. Better yet, give it to Sting. I'm just playing. Or am I? 412-320-7925. Sportstalk@tribweb.com. Tweet me at Justin LaBar. Come on, man.